Welcome to our health channel, your ultimate source for simple habits that lead to powerful results. If you're ready to take control of your health in a natural and sustainable way, you've come to the right place.
Hey everyone, it's Mr. Game, and today we're diving into something that affects millions of people but often goes unnoticed until it's too late: knee pain. We often associate knee problems with injuries or aging, but what if I told you that some of the everyday foods you love could be silently contributing to the breakdown of your knee cartilage? It's a shocking thought, but the science is becoming clearer every day. The connection between our diet and joint health is incredibly strong, and understanding this link is the first step toward protecting your knees for the long haul. We're going to uncover 7 specific foods that might be a regular part of your diet, secretly wreaking havoc on your joints. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about empowering you with knowledge, because once you know what to look out for, you can make smarter choices that support your body's natural ability to stay strong and mobile. The most surprising part? You might be eating these right now. So grab a glass of water, not soda, you'll see why soon. And let's get into the foods you need to be cautious about to keep your knees healthy and pain-free. I want this to be a conversation. I'm not here to tell you to throw out everything in your pantry. Instead, my goal is to help you become more mindful of what you're consuming. We'll break down the science in a way that's easy to understand, looking at how certain ingredients can trigger inflammation, damage cartilage, and ultimately lead to chronic pain. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable plan to adjust your diet, not just for your knees, but for your overall well-being. Let's get started. Kicking off our list at number 1 are processed meats. I'm talking about things like hot dogs, bacon, deli meats, and sausages. I know they're convenient, they're tasty, and they're a staple in many households. But here's the hard truth. From a joint health perspective, they can be incredibly problematic. The main issue lies with the high concentration of nitrates and other preservatives that are used to extend their shelf life and enhance their color and flavor. These chemicals, when consumed regularly, can become a major source of inflammation in the body. This isn't just a vague, inflammation is bad statement. Let's get specific. When these preservatives enter your system, they can trigger the production of inflammatory cytokines. Think of cytokines as tiny messenger proteins that tell your immune system to go on the attack. In small, controlled bursts, this is a good thing. It helps you fight off infections. But when your diet is constantly introducing these triggers, your body enters a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation. This persistent inflammatory response is particularly damaging to cartilage, the smooth, rubbery tissue that cushions your knee joints. Over time, this chronic inflammation can directly accelerate the breakdown of cartilage. Imagine a slow, steady erosion of that vital cushion in your knees. The very structure that allows for smooth, pain-free movement starts to degrade. This process can lead to conditions like osteoarthritis, where the cartilage wears away completely, causing bone to rub against bone. So, while that bacon sandwich might seem harmless, consistently eating processed meats could be setting the stage for serious, long-term joint damage. It's about the cumulative effect of these choices. Next up, at number 2, we have sugary sodas and other sweetened beverages. It's no secret that these drinks are packed with sugar, but many people don't connect that high sugar content directly to their aching joints. Here's the connection. Consuming large amounts of refined sugar, especially in liquid form like a soda, causes a rapid spike in your blood sugar levels. Your body responds by releasing a flood of insulin to manage this sugar rush. This process, in turn, can trigger the release of those same pro-inflammatory cytokines we talked about earlier. Think of it like this. Every can of soda is like pouring gasoline on a smoldering fire of inflammation in your body. If you're already prone to joint issues, or even if you're not, this constant inflammatory trigger can make things significantly worse. The body becomes less efficient at managing inflammation, and your joints, particularly weight-bearing ones like the knees, pay the price. The cartilage doesn't have a direct blood supply, so it relies on the surrounding synovial fluid for nutrients. When this fluid is full of inflammatory markers, the cartilage environment becomes toxic. But it's not just about inflammation. High sugar intake also leads to the formation of something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. AGEs are harmful compounds that form when protein or fat combines with sugar in your bloodstream. These compounds are particularly destructive to collagen, a key protein that gives your cartilage its structure and strength. ages make the cartilage stiffer, more brittle, and more susceptible to damage from everyday wear and tear. So that daily soda habit is a double whammy. It fuels inflammation and directly weakens the very building blocks of your cartilage. Coming in at number 3 are fried foods. French fries, fried chicken, donuts. These foods are popular for a reason. They taste incredible. But the cooking method itself is what makes them a major threat to your knee health. When foods are cooked at very high temperatures in processed vegetable oils like corn, soy, or sunflower oil, they create trans fats. Even if the label says 0 trans fat, the high heat cooking process can still produce them. Trans fats are notorious for being one of the most inflammatory food components you can eat. Their mechanism of action is potent. Trans fats directly interfere with the body's ability to regulate inflammation. They can damage the cells lining our blood vessels, known as endothelial cells, which promotes a systemic inflammatory state. This widespread inflammation doesn't just stay in your arteries, it circulates throughout your body and settles in your joints. For your knees, this means the delicate synovial membrane that lubricates the joint can become inflamed, a condition known as synovitis, which is a hallmark of inflammatory arthritis and a major contributor to pain and stiffness. Furthermore, much like sugar, a diet high in fried foods also accelerates the formation of those destructive agents. The combination of high heat, fats, and often a starchy coating like on French fries or fried chicken is the perfect recipe for creating these compounds. As we discussed, ages attack and degrade cartilage and other connective tissues. So every time you opt for a deep-fried meal, you're not only triggering an immediate inflammatory response but also contributing to the long-term structural weakening of your knee cartilage, making it less resilient and more prone to breaking down. Our fourth category of knee-wrecking foods is refined carbohydrates. This is a broad category that includes things like white bread, white rice, pastries, crackers, and many breakfast cereals. The common thread here is that these foods have been stripped of their fiber and nutrients during processing. What you're left with is essentially a simple starch that your body digests very quickly. Sound familiar? Just like sugary sodas, these foods cause a rapid spike in blood sugar and a subsequent surge of insulin. This metabolic roller coaster is a powerful driver of inflammation. Your body interprets this rapid influx of glucose as a stressor, activating the immune system and releasing inflammatory chemicals as a response. If your diet is consistently high in these types of foods, a bagel for breakfast, a sandwich on white bread for lunch, crackers for a snack, you are keeping your body in a perpetually inflamed state. This chronic inflammation creates a hostile environment for your cartilage, preventing it from repairing itself effectively and accelerating its degeneration. Think about the difference between a whole grain and a refined grain. A whole grain with its fiber intact releases sugar into the bloodstream slowly and steadily, like a dripping faucet. A refined carbohydrate, on the other hand, is like turning on a fire hose. It overwhelms your system. This constant state of alarm not only harms your joints but also contributes to a host of other health problems, including insulin resistance and weight gain. And extra weight, as we know, puts significant additional mechanical stress on your knee joints, compounding the damage caused by the inflammation. At number 5, we need to talk about excessive alcohol consumption. While a single glass of red wine might have some purported health benefits, regular or heavy drinking can have a seriously negative impact on your joint health. One of the primary ways alcohol harms your knees is by directly promoting inflammation. When you drink, your liver works overtime to metabolize the alcohol, a process that generates inflammatory byproducts. These byproducts then circulate through your body, contributing to that same systemic inflammation we've been discussing. But alcohol's impact goes beyond just general inflammation. It can directly interfere with your body's ability to repair itself. Cartilage, like bone, is living tissue that is constantly undergoing a process of breakdown and renewal. Healthy cartilage maintenance depends on specialized cells called chondrocytes. Excessive alcohol consumption has been shown to be toxic to these cells, impairing their function and slowing down the synthesis of new cartilage. Essentially, you're hitting the brakes on your body's natural joint repair crew, while simultaneously fueling the fire of inflammation that's causing the damage in the first place. Furthermore, chronic alcohol use can disrupt the body's nutrient balance. It can interfere with the absorption of crucial nutrients like calcium and vitamin D, both of which are vital for bone health. Weak bones around the knee joint can lead to less support and increased stress on the cartilage. Alcohol is also dehydrating. Since cartilage is made up of about 80% water, even mild dehydration can reduce its ability to cushion and absorb shock, making your knees more vulnerable to injury from everyday activities. The effects are multifaceted and all point in the same direction. Too much alcohol is bad news for your knees. Let's move on to number 6, high-salt snacks and foods. We're talking about chips, pretzels, canned soups, frozen dinners, and many processed sauces. Most of us know that too much sodium is bad for our blood pressure, but its effect on our joints is often overlooked. One of the most direct effects of a high-salt diet is water retention. When you consume excess sodium, your body holds on to extra water to dilute it, which can increase the volume of fluid throughout your body, including in and around your joints. This can lead to swelling and puffiness in the joints, which increases pressure and can cause a feeling of stiffness and pain. For someone who already has underlying arthritis or knee sensitivity, this added pressure can significantly exacerbate their symptoms. It's like inflating a tire just a little too much. The structure becomes rigid and less forgiving. This effect can be quite noticeable, with some people reporting increased joint achiness the day after a particularly salty meal. But the damage isn't just mechanical. Emerging research suggests that high sodium intake can also have a direct inflammatory effect. Studies have shown that excess salt can trigger an autoimmune-like response, stimulating certain immune cells that promote inflammation. Specifically, it can lead to an increase in T17 cells, which are known to play a key role in autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis. So, by loading up on salty foods, you could be directly telling your immune system to attack your own joint tissues, creating a cycle of inflammation and damage that's tough to break. Finally, at number 7, we have a more controversial and emerging area of research: artificial sweeteners. For years, people have turned to sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin as a healthy alternative to sugar. However, the science on their long-term effects is still evolving, and some findings raise a red flag for joint health. Some studies suggest that certain artificial sweeteners can disrupt the balance of our gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in our digestive tract. Why does your gut bacteria matter for your knees? Because the gut microbiome plays a crucial role in regulating your immune system. When the balance of good and bad bacteria is thrown off, a condition known as dysbiosis, it can lead to a leaky gut. This allows inflammatory compounds and undigested food particles to pass from your intestines into your bloodstream, triggering a systemic immune response. This gut-derived inflammation can then travel to other parts of the body, including the joints, contributing to pain and swelling. While the evidence is not yet as conclusive as it is for sugar or trans fats, the link is compelling enough to warrant caution. Many people report anecdotally that their joint pain improves when they eliminate artificial sweeteners from their diet. This isn't to say everyone will have this reaction, as individual responses can vary greatly. However, if you suffer from unexplained joint pain and regularly consume diet sodas, sugar-free yogurts, or other products with these sweeteners, it might be worth eliminating them for a few weeks to see if you notice a difference. It's an area where being your own health detective can be really beneficial. So, there you have it. 7 common food groups that could be secretly sabotaging your knee health. From the preservatives in processed meats to the inflammatory cascade from sugar, and the potential issues with artificial sweeteners, it's clear that what we eat plays a massive role in how our joints feel and function. My goal here wasn't to scare you or make you feel guilty about your food choices. It was to arm you with information so you can be a more conscious consumer and an advocate for your own health. Small, consistent changes can make a world of difference over time. This is your call to action. Take a look at your own diet. Are any of these foods making a regular appearance? You don't have to go cold turkey overnight, but maybe you can start by swapping that daily soda for sparkling water, or choosing grilled chicken over fried. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And most importantly, if you are experiencing persistent joint pain, please don't just rely on dietary changes alone. It's crucial to consult with a doctor or a registered dietitian. They can help you create a personalized plan and rule out any other underlying medical conditions. Thank you so much for joining me today and investing this time in your health. I hope you found this information valuable. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who could benefit from this knowledge. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future videos on health and wellness. Stay curious, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.